Eagle, Idaho, the Beverly Hills of Boise, Idaho. Not really, but
Good one.
it is one of the nicer parts of the Boise area. You have waterfront properties, nice amenities. It's really safe living in some beautiful homes up against the foothills of the Treasure Valley. I would say it has a large appeal to a more specific type of person. So it just comes down to, are you that type of person? Today, we're going to go find out just that. We will learn everything about Eagle, the location, the amenities, schools, safety, the things to do, the housing, and everything that there is to offer. So you can decide if it will be where you end up living when moving to Boise. First up is just a quick overview of the location of Eagle. So Eagle is north in the valley, just above Meridian, and it's kind of tucked up against the foothills. It's right along the Boise River. Your commutes are going to be about 5 to 10 minutes into Meridian, 10 to 20 into Boise, 10 to 20 into Star, 20 to 30 to the interstate, and then 15 to Costco in Meridian and 15 to the village in Meridian. You have quicker access to McCall and Cascade from Eagle because you're right there up against the highway, so you can just jump up and run up north into the mountains, where you can go whitewater rafting, or just to get into the mountains, go see some of the hot springs that are offered up near Cascade if you like to hunt or fish, or you just want to camp. It is nice having that quick access up north into McCall and Cascade. Now, if you have any questions during the course of this video, feel free to call or text me. Me and my team would love to help you move to the Boise, Idaho area. And even if you're not moving to Boise and you're debating between Boise and Nashville or Dallas, I would still love to talk to you and help you decide in the place that you move to, wherever you're coming from. So my number's up on the screen, and there is a link in the description to book a call with me. But let's get right back into the video on Eagle, Idaho.
Finally.
Now, first off, let's just start with the schools and the safety in Eagle. So the schools are good in the Eagle area. You have Eagle Middle School, which is one of the top rated middle schools in the entire state. And if you want to learn more about some of the schools in the Treasure Valley, I do have a video on all of the top schools and things you need to know if you are moving here. So go ahead and check that out. But in Eagle, there is not a ton of options, with Eagle just being a smaller city of about 35-ish thousand people. So you don't have a ton of options to choose from, but it is nice because the small options you do have are a lot better of schools. You have Eagle Elementary School of the Arts as one of the top elementary schools in the state. Eagle High and Middle School, like I said, the middle school is one of the top ranked. Eagle High School was one of my rival high schools. I went to Rocky Mountain High School, so stay away from Eagle High School when it comes to sports and athletics. I know that in high school we definitely had our battles there, but it does have good academics and college prep at the high school there. So
even I have to admit that
you do have some good sports options, all rivalries aside. And if you have kids who are in sports, or academics is more of your thing, or you want your kids to be prepared for college, Eagle High School does offer all of those, and it is some of the higher rated in the valley. You also have Innovate Academy, which is one of my favorite private schools in the valley. It is a private school that was started to teach kids business and real life skills.
But you're a businessman, I'm a businessman.
So you have things where you buy your desk, or you can rent your desk, or you can buy other desks and then rent those to the other students, and you have real money at the school that you use on a day-to-day basis. So kind of a cool strategy there at that private school. The other thing is the safety of Eagle. Eagle is one of the safest cities in the entire valley and probably the entire state. And as a whole, I have never felt unsafe here. And then on top of that, Eagle is even safer. So Meridian, Boise, Star, Kuna, all of those places, I've felt safe my entire life, and most people that live here can say the same. And so on top of that, Eagle is the safest of the safe, which is a huge pro of living there. One of the good examples is in Eagle, if you leave your garage door open, or your car's unlocked, or you leave it out on the street for a few days or a week while you go out of town, you are never really anxious in Eagle. You're not worried about it. And let me know in the comments if wherever you live, if you can say the same, if you feel safe leaving your car unlocked in the street, or if you left your garage open, that you wouldn't have to worry. Because in Eagle, if you leave your garage open, you'll have neighbors come by, just let you know, they'll knock on your door, and you never really have to worry. And that kind of rings true in other cities in the valley, but in Eagle, it's especially true. The people in Eagle are also great. Like I said, it is the Beverly Hills of Boise, and even though there is higher income homes and just overall income for households, the people are mostly great. It's an amazing city, really nice, kind, welcoming community that you have there, and that rings true through the entire valley. But just in Eagle, it is a little bit higher end. You're gonna have people who are a little bit wealthier. Some of the places may be a little bit more expensive.
Tell her I'm rich, and I'm good looking, and
So it is something that you do want to know about, and that it does and can take a particular type of person to make Eagle really feel like home. Now, the amenities. So the amenities in Eagle, like I said, Eagle is a lot smaller than the other cities in the valley, but you do have places like Bardonnais. There's golf courses in Eagle. You have Crave, which is one of my personal favorite restaurants right off of Eagle Road. They have an amazing pork entree there that you definitely should check out. You have some of the bike parks and some of the outdoor things that I'll go over a little bit later. You have Albertsons that's right in town. It's right next to downtown Eagle. And then you have Winco, which is off of State Street. But as a whole, there is options, but there's just not going to be as many restaurants and shopping centers like you have in Meridian. A lot of those is you're going to have to commute into Meridian or Boise if you want to get all of the things that the Treasure Valley has to offer. But with the Village, you're not too far, or downtown Boise, it is like a 15-ish, 25-minute, if the traffic's bad, drive. So if you do want to go to the Village or downtown Boise, or you want to go to a football game, a hockey game, a concert, you don't have to commute that far. But you're not going to have Topgolf in Meridian, which is about 25 to 30 minutes, the BSU Stadium, or the concerts and games, or the Idaho Center, which is in Nampa. All of that can be about 25, even 40 minutes if you drive to the Idaho Center for some of the concerts or comedians or speakers. But in Eagle itself, you have the Eagle Bike Park.
You got like 3 feet of air that time.
Which is a really cool bike park if you have kids or you like to mountain bike, and it has some jumps out there, some trails. You have Eagle Fun Days, which is a parade. There's events, there's vendors and shops, and it's a weekend long thing that the Eagle City puts on. You also have Saturday markets in Eagle, which is nice. So you can go down to the market on Saturday morning and buy some groceries or produce, or some of those small mom and pop shops that have things at the Saturday market. In the summer, there's also concerts at some of the parks. And then, of course, you have the Boise River and Eagle Island State Park. So the Boise River runs right through Eagle, and you have a lot of greenbelt to ride your bike or go on walks with the family. And then you also have Eagle Island, which has a swimming area in the lake there. It has walking trails. You can bring your horses there. And it just gives you a lot of options, whether you like to fish or hike or bike. You have all of that, and the beauty of the outdoors and the river and the trees all through Eagle. And like I mentioned, there's golf courses. So there's actually 4 golf courses. There's one farther out in the foothills. There's some right in town and in 2 of the neighborhoods. So if you're a golfer and you love to golf, unlike me, I'm not as good at golf and it drives me crazy. You can be close to those golf courses. You can live right on them, like in Banbury, and you're not too far from the ones that are just outside of town along the foothills. Now, housing. I'm going to start off with luxury, and I'm going to make it a little fun and put up 3 different drone shots of 3 different luxury style neighborhoods in Eagle. And after watching this, comment your favorite neighborhood that I put up, either A, B, or C. Now, after watching those drone shots, let's just dive into a little bit of the different parts of Eagle, starting off with South Eagle. So you have South Eagle, which is kind of right off of Eagle Road, right up against Meridian. And a lot of these neighborhoods are going to have ponds. And I used to fish these in high school, but if you don't live in those, people definitely get upset. They like their ponds and their fishing, so you can have cops called on you or people are going to come out and yell at you. River's Edge, Williamson River Ranch, which I have a video on that if you want to check Williamson River Ranch out. And then a lot of the neighborhoods right there off of Eagle Road, right before you get into downtown Eagle, they all have ponds. A lot of them have waterfront properties. And Banbury, like I mentioned, is right on the golf course and you're up against the Boise River. So some really great neighborhoods there for you to live, and definitely one of the most popular destinations in Eagle because you are right up against Meridian and you have all of those amenities that I just mentioned. So Legacy is another one that this is a little bit outside of Eagle. It's just west of downtown, and Legacy and Homestead are two that have waterfront properties. They're newer communities, newer developments that have a lot of options. And Legacy is awesome because it has really luxury homes and then it has townhomes, which I'll talk a little bit about later. In a lot of these neighborhoods, it is nice having those ponds and lakes in the neighborhood. In high school, I used to go to friends' houses that lived in these neighborhoods, and you can kayak, you can sit on the sandy beach, you can take a boat out or a kayak out and go fishing on some of these lakes. And all of these neighborhoods that I'm talking about, they're all gonna have walking paths.
That day, for no particular reason, I decided to go for a little run.
So even if you're not along the Boise River, you have the walking paths to just walk around in your neighborhood with your family and your kids, and they just have awesome amenities. Now, some of the more regular homes, not as luxury, you have condos in parts of Eagle and condos on lakes as well. You have townhomes along the Boise River and around downtown Eagle. Now, as I mentioned in Legacy, the other nice thing is that with Legacy, you do have townhome options and smaller first-time home options, not just the luxury homes. So you have homes from $400,000 all the way up to $2.5 million, which is nice because you can spend less on a townhome in Legacy, but get kind of that luxury development feel where you still have the golf course and the ponds and the walking areas, which is a big benefit. And then you also have older neighborhoods around the golf course just north of downtown Eagle. And it gives you some better options if you don't want to go luxury or if you want to save a little bit of money and not spend the $100,000 extra that it does to live in Eagle. If you're willing to spend that, but you can't quite afford some of these luxury neighborhoods, you can look at some of these townhomes in these older neighborhoods, and it gives you a little bit more option for your house when moving here. Unfortunately, that is just how it is in Eagle. It's just a lot more expensive. Like I said, it is kind of the Beverly Hills of Boise, where you are going to be spending that $100,000 more for the same size house. You can get that a little bit different. You may only spend $50,000 or $30,000 more, but all of the things that Eagle has to offer is just more expensive. With that price comes a big complaint that a lot of people have, and that's HOAs.
Dang it.
And a lot of these neighborhoods have them, and a lot of them are more expensive than the HOAs that you might find in Boise or Meridian. The reason for that is just because you have those ponds and those waterfront properties that I talked about, so they have to manage the fish that they put in there and all of the ponds and cleaning them and making sure everything is upkept. And then also you do have the pools, which you get in a lot of the neighborhoods in the other cities, but in Eagle, there is a lot nicer pools. Some of these developments are extremely nice as you've seen. So the HOAs can get more, anywhere from $400 a year to even $400 a quarter. So about $1,200 to $1,500 a year. And not too many homes in neighborhoods don't have HOAs. So most of the subdivisions in the valley, if you live in a development, you're gonna have HOAs. It's just the difference with Eagle is that you will be spending a little bit more, and that's a big complaint that I see with moving to Eagle on top of spending more for your house there. Next up in Eagle is the hospital care. So there's no major hospitals in Eagle, but you do have a St. Luke's and a St. Al's, just a smaller hospital. So there is some medical care in Eagle, right near downtown off of State Street and Eagle Road, and then you have one just down State Street a little ways. There's also small clinics in Eagle, but the closest major hospital is going to be either downtown Boise, St. Luke's, or the Meridian St. Luke's right off of I-84 and Eagle Road. And both of those are about 25 to 30 minutes depending on traffic. So if you need access to medical care or you want to retire and that's something that you're worried about, those are going to be where your major hospitals are in Eagle. Now, if you're looking for a place in the valley that has more hospital access, or you don't want to make the mistake of choosing the wrong place to live, watch this video on the top suburbs in the Boise area, and you don't want to miss this one.